That's the wrong screen.
Hello,
That's the wrong
everybody.
screen. There we go. I found it. There's a thing over TJ's face.
Welcome to 66, the place where technical issues are a daily occurrence.
All right.
Daily.
How many sessions have we streamed now? Are we still figuring this stuff out?
I want to say
That's a trick
10 to
question.
15.
Because we still haven't figured it out.
What session number are we on?
Actually,
Yeah.
I like how we have technical issues daily, and yet we only do this like once every 2 weeks.
That's because we're all robots, and we are always shorting out. This is why you don't have AI in rainy Oregon.
it's the things that they don't see that we deal with their daily lives that we just bring to the show.
And to answer the question, session 24 today.
And we didn't.
Time does fly.
So this is, I think, number 14 of being streamed.
I think so.
If this is 24th session, we've done mostly every other week. So we've been doing this for about a year.
Yeah, we started I think we started in April of last year.
Happy anniversary, everyone.
At some point, it's our anniversary. At some point last month.
Yeah. Well, and then there was a few weird weeks where we went back to back because we didn't have such weird conflicting schedules as we do now. But then we also ended up skipping a week or two. 2 weeks ago, for example, because can't have electricity in rainy Oregon either.
My zero session was April 2nd.
And I think yours was the first out of everyone's.
I think so.
Back when it was just Connor, Creorn, and Otar.
Dandy. Or no, not even.
And me, I was here for it.
Well, you were here for the zero session, but we didn't know you were a part of it.
Fair enough.
I didn't know you. You're not my mother.
That'd be very awkward if I was.
Maybe he identifies as it though?
I will neither confirm nor deny for lore's sake.
I demand child support.
You're the child, you got enough support.
I demand restitution for being born.
I didn't ask for this. Anyways, welcome. We're 66. We like to play Dungeons and Dragons and pretend like we have a studio in our living room. My living room, specifically. Yeah. So what are we doing again?
I have a game room.
Why aren't we playing in there?
Because I decided to move to Oklahoma.
Yeah, why can't we all just
Well,
go there and play in a game room?
You.
Anyways, I'm pretty sure we were
That's the show, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Pretty sure we were trying to suss out political traitor. Right, we just talked to all the council members.
Not yet.
We
We're
haven't
going
even
to talk to the council members. I'm currently polymorphed as a cheetah dragon, and we're going to talk to them about the stuff that we need to be done. We tried to.
We talked to them
Un-
individually, and now we're about to
unbribed
have
some.
the whole council thing.
We talked with
Oh,
talked with them in preparation for talking with them.
Yeah.
Non-bribe, strictly for just saving the world purposes. Because we didn't give them anything, so there's no bribery involved. Law baron.
You did give one of them a potion of acid, or vial of acid.
Right.
She asked for it when I mentioned it, and I just said sure. When did I say, then be on our side?
A potion of acid and a vial of acid are two very different things.
Not if you're Dandy.
Hopefully the fifth.
I did watch enough of that episode for you to remember that you gave someone a potion of acid.
Because she asked for it. I said, hey, I have the acid from this machine. She
No,
said,
no,
can I have
I'm
it?
talking
I
about
said, sure.
Naltanova.
No, see, I didn't give him I didn't give him a full pile of a potion of acid. I gave him a concoction that had a drop of acid in it for spice.
Cause that's what you do when you spice something up. Hydrochloride.
Isn't that what's in most energy drinks?
I honestly, it's spaced on like an actual acid term for like chemicals, so I just said the first thing that came to my head, which was sulfuric. Yeah, I don't know.
Science people, get in the chat. Tell him if he's right or wrong. I don't know what hydrochloric acid, besides what
Citric.
hydrochloric acid
All
is.
kinds of acids.
And on that note,
I think this is where we just start the show, DM.
yeah. So last.
Yeah, we got the small talk out of the way. We can now start.
Yeah, last.
I mean, we are only 30 minutes late.
And it has been a month since we got together, so it's not horrible for us to run through a quick refresher and just make sure everybody's on pace.
Well,
And
yeah,
also-
because I don't take notes, so.
I kind of take notes most of the time.
I take notes that are important to Dandy specifically.
I didn't, and then I did, and now I'm like half taking notes.
And then now you figured out she was a dwarf.
High five!
That Origins episode was like, I'm just gonna rename it to Ethan Got Woke. Alright, well, I guess we may as well just get on into it. So, everyone roll initiative.
Fuck yeah!
I don't remember this part of the story.
A two.
There we go. I got a 7.
Ethan gets 2, I got 5. You got 7.
I got a 12. I got a 12.
So, go. Yep. The rest of this stream is making characters. So, last off in our campaign, the War on Mittalon. You guys went to Roxia via teleportation after ripping off a bunch of dwarves.
We did not rip them off. They
We
left it
saved
behind.
them, and then they left very few things behind, and we decided to take those.
Who is this weeb you're talking about?
Yeah,
Well, Karma
Dandy
has
was in the
spoken.
background crying. I don't know about you.
Karma has spoken, and they put you guys in jail once you guys got to Adroxia.
Tried to put us in jail. Let's start with the basics before we get to the end result.
Who is this we you are talking about?
Sorry, everyone except the Prince Goody Two Shoes over here.
The one who
Resisted
knew
arrest.
about the
You're
law.
the paladin!
I'm the warlock.
Why am I here?
When does the show start?
Shoot
You're
these.
here because I needed a passport.
This all started because we're trying to get flippin' passports.
No,
And then we went back to Altanova once.
this
It's amazing
started-
what you'll do for a green card.
This started because I have daddy issues, apparently.
I got serious mommy issues.
Yeah, you do.
Don't pull the pin on Dandy's grenade.
I used to have daddy issues.
I think we said that on stream recently. It was just like, we got parental issues. I wish I had daddy issues.
Life issues. For
Who was? I think it was just you who just said issues. Otar doesn't remember.
Otar's the happiest out of all of us, and he's a werewolf.
He doesn't even know you. He's just here for the free breakfast.
He's just happy because occasionally we're like, go kill something. We let him kill things, and he's like, okay.
And here we are worried about a shield.
I was willing to leave that in the temple, just completely. And who took it again?
Me.
You took it, right? Yeah,
I
you're
took
gonna
it.
Be, you're gonna be the
Yeah,
sister.
Dandy the zoologist.
A
I don't
god,
claim to be a zoologist. I claim to be an adoptive parent. Because I don't have any parental issues.
a deity sent a vision to the paladin and said, "Hey, I don't like that shield." And the paladin was like, "That's fair." The bard went, "That's mine."
Give me a minute.
The deity didn't actually say anything about the shield. Just said they shouldn't be afraid of you. With that being said, DMs everywhere. When your bard starts a bestiary, be afraid.
Dandy.
Loki did it first. Loki did it first.
Dandy, I know style can like eat things, but don't wonder what that mouth can do. Okay?
Oh,
I have nothing but curiosity of what that mouth does.
he's seen the
How
tongue.
wide do those jaws go? It swallowed a body.
At least twice the size of your bag of holding.
Just don't count on retrieving anything back from it.
All I can do is try not to quote from every show I've ever watched.
Where's our Avatar: The Last Airbender counter?
Right next to the Team 4-star Dragon Ball Z Abridged counter.
And right below the SpongeBob counter.
I've never watched Dragon Ball Z, so I don't know about these references.
Well, let's
Alright.
add one more, and let's have the best day ever.
Best day. Yeah. Okay, that's copywritten probably. It's not.
That's all right. We're not affiliated yet.
Take that. We have no money.
All I can give you is a smile worth a nickel.
Damn, yours is worth a nickel?
I brush daily.
All I got was 2 shillings.
You guys are getting paid?
That's it. We're not playing Dungeons and Dragons anymore. This is just a talk show.
You guys think you're worth something? Wow.
Oh!
Damn.
Go back to church.
He doesn't deny it.
I was meaning that in a self-deprecating way, not as a diss way.
I feel like that's worse. Aren't you taught like you're supposed to love yourself so that you can love others? Or is that Bob
Religion
Marley?
is complicated.
I mean, kind of. I don't think it's ever like explicitly stated anywhere, but like, kind of, I guess. D&D time.
Yes.
I'm just gonna stay quiet. You'll just see my mouth move a lot because there's a lot wanting to process. But I'm just gonna let's stay on track.
I'm not happy, Bard.
Not happy.
What is happening? So, back into the world of Mittalon. You guys, you woke up in a jail cell that was covered in water after a ominous message from a dear old friend. You guys wake up from the cell and are quickly met up with Rinta, who froze the cell underneath you. Brought you guys to basically the throne room and said, hey, these guys aren't prisoners. Stop being dumb. That's pretty much what happened. To sum it up briefly. Kriorn finally got to meet up with his dad. Revlor got to meet up with his mom. Connor is avoiding his mom. Dandy's still an orphan.
Avoiding his problems.
And Otar got free breakfast. Creorn got laid.
Wait, I thought your parents were alive. You're an orphan?
They're
thought you-
dead to me.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm literally bargaining with them to save their lives.
Worth every gold.
I hate them.
Then let him
Is
die.
Let him die, let him die, let him shrivel up and die. Nah, Danny can't do that. He's a family man. Don Toretto, this is for you. Family.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So, gosh, it's been so long. I'm trying to remember.
We had a secret plan at the church because we don't know who we can trust within the castle walls. We got some stuff discovered, figured out that there's a lockbox behind a painting. Reveler discovered things that me, not Dandy, can't fourth wall break, but was a major crucial thing to the plot twists of things that happened to the king, where they happened at, locations were said. Dandy doesn't know. I'm not a fourth wall breaker. I'm not a meta gamer, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But we still have things to do. Talking to the council, we met up with different council members, trying to convince them that our point of view before we actually get to the council meeting. There was no bribery. A scientist asked for vital information. Dandy happily gave it over as good faith, not as bribery. And then he decided to play around with the spell book because he learned a new spell, and now he's a cheetah dragon going to a meeting because that's about another 45 minutes spell to last. Navash Navat!
I think that sums it up pretty well. So,
We also discovered that one of the council members is just missing and has been since the king was murdered. The council member of diplomacy, Galecki.
all right. So, you guys had your morning talk with Benron, the familiar druid Tabaxi that you guys had recently fought in the pit.
It's a good thing I didn't
And-
break his knees. That'd be awkward.
And I almost forgot the most important information. Ethel has a crab house.
She does not have a crab house.
Right.
She has a crab house.
She has a house built on the back of a giant crab. It's different.
Otherwise known as a crab house.
That's
Meow.
that's like the only note that you wrote in the last session was crab house.
It's so unnecessary that when we got to that house, it was spinning. So I thought it was magic. Only to find out it was her pet crab doing what? 360s while we're in there?
It wasn't comfortable.
It's going for the 360 no scope.
Just like doing a Fortnite dance underneath us.
Just because it's Dungeons and Dragons doesn't mean that everything is magical. Sometimes it's just a ginormous
break my
crab with a
hopes.
house built on top of it.
Huh, wonder why it wasn't comfortable.
My guess was because you guys are pretty close to the water, so you probably started sinking.
Or because he has a house built on him.
All right, so 5 guys and 2 cheetah dragons walk into a. Never mind.
No, it's not 5 of us.
Oh.
I think it's 4.
Including style. All right. So you guys head into the throne room, as you guys remember, very large, like the throne is like built up on top of like a 10-foot tower with like bookshelves underneath it, mostly like law books, a spiral staircase that goes up to the top. But behind all of that, like where the stands are, was a large circular table. And as you guys walk up to it, you see each of these chairs have an engraved and painted symbol that resembles either the person or their task. And there's a set of 5 chairs just lined up facing the table. There's a few people already in. They're just kind of talking amongst themselves. You see Orion, and you see your mother, Isala. Benron went in with you guys, and he's walking up to the table to grab his seat. Renta is there, and Legenti is there, and she's got like her arms full of like scrolls and just like information that she thinks like she might need.
Question: what are the symbols on each of the chairs again? Like, I know you went through them, I just don't have them written down.
Sure. So for the largest chair, presumably Galen's, there is the crest of Adroxia. For the there's a balanced scales for the law. There's a seat that has 2 swords crossing that has like I would describe it as a wreath around the swords. There is a circular jagged. It's the seat of Sir Garmin. It is like the head of a red dragon, but it's kind of like in a circle. Science and magic is a you see a stone with a sigil into it, with a beaker behind it, and then the Crown's Guard is again the Adroxian crest, but on a sail. And then the seat of diplomacy is just an open book.
Perfect.
For the next few minutes, people begin trickling in, and
There are seats for us to sit in, right?
yeah, just not in the circle.
Right, okay.
We have to sit at the kids' table.
You don't even get a table. After a few minutes, you see Selfie walks in, and she's followed by a couple Crown's Guard that just take station at the door and then give you guys your space. You guys specifically, but everyone. They are trusted guards allowed in the room, but like not at the table, obviously. A few minutes later,
Which name do you need?
Caralia walks in, followed by the red tarantula. She walks up to the table, takes her seat, and the red tarantula stands behind her with her arms like folded in front of her in a like locking position like this. Close. You see a gentleman that you guys haven't met yet. A very tall for a dwarf, standing about 5'8", so just a little bit shorter than Connor. Dark auburn red hair and an even more red beard going down to his chest. Very ornamental golden armor, but it's showy, but it's comfortable. Followed by Renta. And Sir Garmin takes his seat. My cat says meow. Benron meows back. Not really.
I was just gonna say Dandy's laying down next to the group that's standing.
Hades.
It's all good. As he's laying down, you just randomly hear every now and then a purr and a random. Wow.
And the last to enter is Galen, Revlor's brother. And once he gets in, comes in, everyone takes their seat. Orion and your mother has a seat behind Galen's seat, just so that she doesn't have to stand. This cat.
I'm just bored.
Like, Brina's in her room watching TV. And he was blocked out.
You have the common. You ate the common tongue meatloaf stuff, right? So you can
Only
speak.
a portion of it, so it only lasts like, what was it, 15 minutes? And I have 45 minutes left of the spell.
I can't believe that you turned yourself into a cheetah dragon right before the council meeting. I'm pretty sure you can talk.
Not polymorph. Is the 15 minutes up? Because like that was back at the cafeteria breakfast. So if I still have some time left, I didn't know I was casting a spell. I was reading from my book. I was learning research. Then this happened.
I still don't understand how you don't realize when you're casting magic. Like, I thought it'd be a bigger thing.
Well, you know, you just attempt things. Like, I didn't know I could cast this thing, so I tried it. It worked. And this is the result. I'm getting hungry.
We'll feed you later, buddy.
Thank me. He's like a small purr. Thank you.
Renta speaks up, looking over to you guys. Is Dandy joining you?
I'm gonna look over at her and just like point at the cheetah dragon that's not Chitu and just be like, with a very just
It has a shield on its back. One cheetah dragon does, the other one doesn't. And the one that does have a cheetah dragon will look at her and go, meow. In Dandy's voice.
and just this look, just
The ghost stare meme.
yep.
She turns her attention to the table. May I take care of this? Everyone kind of nods. She starts kind of twirling her hands, casting some incantations. incantation, and a blue, cold spark throws over to you, and
Just Dandy sitting on the floor is like, that's better. Crisscross his legs.
We have chairs, Dandy. I'm just gonna go
Stand and sits
sit
up on
in
the
one
chair.
I really hope I don't regret that.
Oh, me too.
This was Danny's version of trying to stay quiet. You got him
About to
talking
say,
now.
in another 5 minutes, he wouldn't have been able to talk.
It's okay, I brought the silence spell.
I'm gonna try and sit or wherever he sits.
um, so everyone takes their seat and kind of settles in. You can see Legenti grabs her like just an empty pad, and she's got like a quill, and like she's ready to like start taking notes immediately. And everyone's pretty much ready to go. Galen speaks up. So, as you have all seen, met, or heard, my brother Revlor is finally home. This is great. As you all know, I'd rather not be here. With him is Connor, Kriorn, son of Orion, Otar the Great, and Dandy Handy. Over the last few weeks of these guys banded together, they have fought and come across interesting evils, creatures, and found even more interesting information. Some regarding the old king of Mittalon, the old council. Other information regarding the war that started 20 years ago. With much appreciation to Rinta and Sir Garmin, have quite a bit of first-hand knowledge on how this war started and why we in Duvencrane and Adroxia try to take a more defensive state, because this war was not started for the right reasons. This will be an open discussion between everyone here, a sharing of knowledge, and if we can, to come up with a plan for her hopefully diplomatic means to ending this war. And to find out what has become of the old council.
After Galen pauses for a second, I'll kind of, I'm gonna wait until there's like a natural pause, not like he's taking a breath and I'm like, right, so but be like, with permission, I'd like to speak. I'll kind of stand up and say, as Galen said, my name is Creorn. I'm the son of Orion. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is Marcus Mittalon lives. He is a vampire. And he is working on building another construct that is designated Khatum 2.0. We don't know for what purposes yet, but given that he is a vampire and has chosen not to expose him being alive still, does not bode well.
You hear Benron speak up. What is Khatum?
I'm gonna look over. I think it was Connor that had the blueprints. Is that correct?
I had them and then I gave them to somebody. I gave them to you or to Revelor.
I think it was to me, but I think it was the pair of us who brought it to.
Revlor is holding on to the map, but me and Revlor showed it to the scientist lady.
Legenti, yeah. Legenti.
Okay.
I don't know if we actually gave it to her or not.
Not to keep. I
Okay.
remember taking that back and handed it back to you.
Okay.
Because I don't trust her. I trust no one.
Khatum also attacked the old Elven city, right? It was one of the Titans that attacked the Elven city. There was a dragon in Khatum that attacked Elven city, right?
I know. I have it
Either
listed.
attacked in Decry or in Eferon. I don't quite remember.
Wasn't. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have it listed in for either of the attacks, but Khatum attacked Decry.
Which was old Elven capital, right?
Nope, that was Tieflings and Dragonborn.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Decry is the, if you will, City of Dragons, where you guys teleported to before you guys came to Adroxia. Duvencraig.
Wait, what?
Wait, what did you say?
I've got it listed that Khatum attacked Decry.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Decry, yes, is the
Tiefling
state
Dragonborn
of
state,
like the desert area. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Just making sure my notes were on track.
Yes, having seen or having heard Benron's question, like I'll start to like get the blueprints out so that way we can show everyone and start to kind of.
During this time, Dandy's gonna take Style off his back, put him in his lap like a child, and just start feeding him some jerky and everything, while also having jerky himself, waiting for the politics to start kicking in.
Khatum is. We have the blueprints for 2.0. Khatum is a giant snake-like construct that initially, well, actually, were we actually told by Alpha that Khatum attacked Decry, or did DM just tell us that?
While Creorn is describing it, at least I'm going to best I can like minor illusion up a basically what I see in front of me on the blueprints, kind of just replicate it as best as I can.
You have become an overhead projector.
Basically.
Would the Titans not be knowledge to the cities that were attacked? They would have known which Titans attacked them historically, right?
Some would. They don't have a lot of information on the ongoings of other states.
Well, from what we traveled, though, we've collected knowledge from different areas. That's how we found out the Titans of other states attacked states that it didn't belong to that's how this whole divide happened.
Right. So the Titans, like, so Lieber had no memories of like when that leech attached itself to the time that it was taken off. So like if they ever encountered or fought with, like they don't remember it.
But anyway, I'll continue on just describing kind of what we saw as we found, excluding Alpha. But we saw the giant exoskeleton of Khatum being built underneath. Oh crap.
What was the
Give me-
desert town
give-
name?
Give me a second. Aboon.
Aboon.
Yep. While we were underneath Aboon and describe the way that Marcus has the drones attacking Aboon and stealing components of their metals or anything metal that they can get their hands on to continue building this.
And you guys are passing the blueprint around?
Revelor was doing like some minor illusion projecting the image up so everybody
Okay.
could see it.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to see the blueprint, I can pass it around for sure. But I also was just trying to put it up so everyone could kind of see a representation of it at once.
Sure.
Does the blueprint specify how big Khatum is? Because I think we were told it's like as we were walking through the caverns, I think we could see like 200 feet of exoskeleton or something like that.
Yeah, on the blueprint it would probably have like to scale some information like that.
Yeah.
But like it's gargantuan. To put it, you know, it's a construct of a purple worm essentially.
We don't know yet what caused the constructs to attack both Decry and Epheron, but we know that the control of Khatum at the very least was through the crown of Mittalon.
Sir Garmin speaks up. So whoever had the crown was taken over by the same thing that took over the rest of the Titans? Is that our theory?
Unconfirmed. It could be two separate entities working together, but we do know that it was not the humans who ordered the constructs to attack. We have yet to find the crown to prevent control. So we cannot figure out who issued the initial attack. We do know that Primus, the original maker of Khatum, was saying that Khatum did not follow instructions as told.
So this Khatum has its own sentience then?
The way that it's understood, Khatum has a base set of instructions, whether it's gathering resources or defense of a certain area. It has day-to-day instructions that it's to follow. Programming, if you will. Military orders. It did not follow those. It broke orders, it broke instruction, and decided to go on the attack.
Do we know if it is the single crown that controls the rest of the constructs?
I do not have that knowledge.
if we were able to find the crown, we might be able to find out more about that. Rumor has it that the crown was last in the possession of my father as the treasurer, but we don't know where it is now.
I'm sure someone could check the archives and see what we have.
Was there any reaction in Orion's face? Like, as we're talking about Ephamriel, no. Yeah, that was the dad's name, right? Okay. As we're talking about the old king of Ephamriel, is there any reaction of like hidden knowledge in his face? Like, I know something, but I can't speak it.
Roll an insight.
Do I get advantage because it's my dad?
Sure, why not?
All right. First roll is 11. Second roll's a 12. All right. 14 total.
Not really.
Okay.
You know, he kind of looks down when you talk about his brother. You know, it's
Understandably.
yeah. And this selfie speaks up this time. So this construct is in a boon.
Deep underneath. In an old, I guess you could call it a keep. It's an old, ratted down fortress.
Orion speaks up. I can confirm that there was one of Mittalon's labs there long ago. Selfie asks, how do you guys know he's a vampire? Was he there?
Yes.
A small but deep chuckle from Dandy. That's it.
Along our travels, we've encountered a number of undead, mostly vampires. Mittalon
And
being one of them.
Mittalon himself.
And
Yeah.
Mittalon himself. When we found Khatum 2.0 being built, suffice to say, he chased us out. We came face to face with him. We've met others that he has turned, including a dwarf named Hawkendirk, who was a notable figure in a... What city was it? What? It was not Altanova.
That was the lava caves outside of Tariff.
Yeah, Tariff. Wait, no, but it was Altanova. He helped build Altanova, right?
He built
He
a
has a
house.
house under that the caves.
Right.
That's all.
Right, okay, yeah. So, yeah, he's a notable figure in Altanova.
And he helped build Dugan-Crane, I think.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Helped build Duvencrane.
Orion will speak up. I can confirm Hawkendirk was, like myself, a good friend of the Council and built a lot of cities with Mittalon, helped build places here in Adroxia, Duvencrane, Calphion, Idel, Altanova, Valencia. Any major construction that happened in that time, he probably had something to do with it.
We also are aware that Mittalon is not working alone on Khatum 2.0. These blueprints are signed by 2 people. Marnie, who we have been told was one of Marcus Mittalon's nicknames, and Nox.
Checks out. They were great friends. As the blueprints get passed around, what differences should we expect? This is coming from Galen. What differences should we expect from Khatum 1 and 2?
We haven't, out of character a little bit, talking to party members. For one, we don't know what the first one was capable of, and 2, we don't know what the second was capable of.
The first one wasn't in control.
Right.
This next one will be under one control. That is the difference.
Right, but like, we haven't like really looked at these blueprints to really be like, okay, what the freak does this thing got?
It's a giant purple worm that can be used for destruction. Here, guys trying to save people.
Right, but like, I guess it probably won't have guns on it.
Well, probably not, but I see this creation as like a demon core.
Right.
Intention purpose, we can make a nuclear reactor to save people,
or
it could be a bomb.
Or a bomb. Okay, so
Wasn't like the guy who invented dynamite was trying to save people, and then they ended up using it to blow people up.
I know that he accidentally mixed
Nitroglycerin.
nitroglycerin with mud, and it fell, and he.
We are not
froze and
teaching
died.
people how to make bombs on Twitch.
Anyway,
You watch Dr.
I
Stone
was
for that.
talking Twitch. I was talking about history. Okay, I was talking about just history. Anyway, Khatum, we personally aren't sure the capabilities of the first one, other than its general description, and none of us are engineers to fully understand these blueprints that we have now. But a giant construct worm that can eat buildings isn't going to be good in any size or shape.
Legenti butts in. From the schematics, I can determine that its main goal is to tunnel. Certainly different enchantments can be made to its blood. I don't exactly know what to call this acid yet. But to say that it's anything short of magic would be an understatement. But are they using Khatum 1 to construct Khatum 2? Or is there 2 of them?
Out of pocket, we were told by Alpha that the first Khatum got taken away from Daddy. Daddy Bot took it away because humans stopped playing or messed up the toy.
Right. Okay.
Boy, man,
He would be. The first Khatum, the god Primus, is all about clockworks and machines and all that. Khatum was originally his creation, as I understand it, and after the events 20 years ago, he sort of took Khatum back, which is why I suppose Mittalon has to make another one.
I'm gonna look over at Dandy real quick, and as nonchalantly as I can, I'm gonna just like tap my head, and I'm really hoping he's gonna understand what that message means.
I cast message to him in his head and say, "What do you want?"
I'm gonna just. Can you contact Ethel and see if she can get here?
She was barely days out from Duvencrane. To call her here now, I feel would not only be a waste, but at the same time, can we trust everyone in this council to not just discard her reference and then we wasted her time as well?
I'm just gonna give a slight nod, just like, yeah, I get it, but
I then leave over to Revelor, just lean over and message him. So, what's your guys' policy on casting magic in a room crowded of political kings, essentially?
I'm still like currently casting my minor illusion spell. So, I mean, at this point, we're all. I'll back to, or I'll go back to him. At this point, we're all trusted guests. So, as long as you don't cast any violent spells.
Well, and you would recall that Rinta um, requested permission before she casted something directed to you. So before you cast anything directed at someone is probably where that line's at.
Just a deep breath from Dandy. Revelor, can you tell them I'm gonna try and contact Ethel, if that's okay?
We lost.
Control myself. You're all welcome.
we lost Connor again.
If
for
I
a
don't
second.
interact.
Back. So okay, great. I will look at the crowd, or look at the table, and just if no one has any objections, one of my one of my friends may be able to contact someone with more information. Which one of my friends, or who are we contacting? It would be one of the former council members.
Her name's Ethel. Elf. Apparently hot. Never seen her true face. Looks like an old hag to me.
Ethel Addington.
That one.
You see Orion.
I gotta imagine like me and Orion kind of share a little look there, like just like, yeah.
That's canon.
I'm gonna see it and just look at my dad like, the fuck?
Proceed.
I'll cast third level sending. 1 second. Alright. Trying to construct 25 words to get Ethel's attention. Great. Alright. Ethel, it's Dandy. We're talking to the council. We need information. Do you feel like teleporting here? Or just passing it along to me?
Well then.
I learned from Jester.
I do not know a teleportation circle there. What information are you looking for?
Second cast, I'll start with. Any information you've gathered on Mittalon thus far, including the constructs, and anything that you would see or think would help convince the council to help us with this endeavor.
There's a pause. I never saw Mittalon in that cave. Only Alpha, Katoon, the rest of the drones. We know Hawk and Dirk is a vampire. And don't know where he is.
Was that the full message? From everyone's perspective, Dandy's eyes grow wide. Confusing look, like if he just received information that will break this whole case wide open. Followed with the immediate fucking useless. No. I look at Creorn. No, she did not have anything insightful to add.
What?
So to be fair, you guys did know this. That she never saw Mittalon.
Yeah, but I was hoping she might have insights on Katoom or something, because like
What has she been doing for the past month? The lazy bitch.
she's
She's
kind
going
of
on a
old as shit, so I was really hoping she might have some insights on Katoom.
She's like been watching like the Lord of the Rings like on repeat. She's just walking, man. She's just walking.
Listening to podcasts on her adventures, nature sound videos on the walk. That's it.
Binging old cartoons.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
She's got the audiobook Lord of the Rings, and
That's just
they're
2 third level spells
walking,
wasted.
and they're walking.
I got a message and I was reading it. What exactly did she tell you? Just that she wasn't there. She didn't see.
I didn't see Mittalon in the caves. And Alpha and the constructs are building something, but I haven't seen Katoon. Information we already know. I specifically said, do you have anything that could help? A simple no would have been better, saved words, and she can tell me like how far she is on her journey thus far. Nah, she decided to give us the recap like a Dragon Ball Z episode or One Piece where the first 15 minutes of the show is just what did we did last episode.
Rita teleported us here, right?
Rinta did.
Affirmative.
Or,
She
yeah,
gave us the
no,
spell, so
Rinta.
Revelor was able to do it.
But like, or I guess, how does the old councilwoman not have teleportation?
Maybe it's you have to be familiar with the teleportation, and Ethel hasn't teleported here since they built that circle.
She did say she was unaware of any teleportation circle in this area.
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't hear that, but Grant heard it.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
But while DM's away, what's your thoughts, Connor?
I think that's. I can definitely try. Could I check my bag of holding to see if I have any new mail real fast? And possibly write a letter if I don't have any. Probably write a letter anyway. Because this is my version of sending for information. It's the postal service.
Text messaging.
Mm.
Same day shipping.
Same minute shipping.
Oof.
So one location only.
You check into your bag, and there's no new messages.
Do I have? I would have parchment on me to write stuff. Yeah. Okay. But what could they possibly tell us here? What do we need to know? What do we need?
What Khatum 1 was capable of. What Khatum 1 did in the destruction of Decry would be useful.
I might be able to do that with just a history check.
The main thing is, during this conversation, Danny's thinking to himself is that it'd be dumb for Mittalon not to have moved his base of operations to another base of operations. So actually going there would be useless.
Yeah, we kind of broke into the place. So.
But also, based on the size of that thing, it would be very difficult to move, especially since we stole his carriage.
But he has bots that can create tunnels for him and move the device. And he has a whole city, aka Duvencrane, that he could possibly know the layout of underground, never bringing this thing to the surface.
It'd take some time to tunnel, but I mean, he's had a month.
And counting, because we're still here trying to convince him that there is something there.
But also, so we were told by Manny that he had all the parts needed to finish Khatum.
I don't remember that at all, and that's scary.
Yeah, we were told that. Hold on. Session 14, when we meet Manny, we find out that Marcus has all the parts he needs to finish Khatum 0.0. He just needs to put it together. Primus has the first one. Primus is in Mittalon in a cave, but Manny didn't know where the cave was. Primus didn't like Marcus or any vampires. That's how we confirmed, because he said Primus doesn't like Marcus or any other vampires. That's how we confirmed that Marcus was a vampire amongst everything else. That and Ethel told us, but...
And if Khatum can dig tunnels, he doesn't need to dig a tunnel and move it. He just needs to finish it, and it can leave on its own.
After the pointing to third level spells, Danny goes back to feeding a little bit more aggressively, not hurting, but just shoving rations into Manny Styles' mouth. He's probably not hating it, but just you see that irritation.
Kiralia speaks up, looking to Benron. Are you capable of scrying onto Mittalon? Speaks up. I've not met him. It would be difficult to say the least.
And I don't think any of us have, like, personal effects or, like, anything that would give... Wait.
Is she
Wait,
saying
hold on.
that she has never seen Mittalon, what he looks like, or just because she hasn't met him, she doesn't know what mind to link to?
Carolia or Ethel?
Whoever can scry.
Benron?
Benron can
The
scry.
male. He's a guy. So
He's never met Mittalon. Also, like, not old enough.
there was a
scry, you need to be familiar with the person.
So
Or
not
have-
just an image, you would have to know them.
or
in
have
some
a
way, shape, or form.
personal effect of them, right?
Yeah, if you had some item of theirs, I mean, we have his carriage. No, we don't have that with
No.
us. But if we had some like personal item of his that can link to
There-
the person.
I have 3 vampiric books that I took from them, including 1 more vial of acid that he probably had to engage with himself and his creations.
There
might work.
was a wand of webs that I took from the Mittalon family crypt.
What about the blueprints that he probably drew?
Yeah, that too.
We have blueprints, 3 weird books from the place, and a vial of acid, all that he had to engage with in a shape or form. I don't. That's what we got.
And we have a treasure taken from his family crypt.
A treasure?
2 actually, because my bow was in there.
Oh.
Technically 3.
The
All kept by Creorn.
The Wand of Webs, the Ring of Jumping, and your bow.
Right, the ring. That was off of the vampire that we killed.
Mittalon's daughter.
Yeah.
Wait. Wait, refresh me, DM. The first crypt we went into, like session 1, that was Mittalon's family crypt?
Yeah.
The king of the continent. We raided his tomb?
Yes.
Yup.
Oh.
I forgot that's where I got my
There
ring.
was a spot for 4 coffins, and 2 of them were missing.
And then there's a vampire there. And we
A
toasted her.
female vampire
A female
that we
vampire.
toasted.
And Ethel staked inside her coffin
That's
with her walking stick.
Actually, I can't remember because it was a very long time ago, but it was either his daughter or his wife.
A family member.
Yes.
I don't think I even
Direct
have
family.
listed.
I think we've made him mad.
That's if he
His
found
family.
out.
You drilled his death.
Ethel.
Ethel did that, technically. Ethel drilled his daughter.
Ethel just stuck her with some wood.
Yeah.
That's not the steak dinner that she had in mind.
No.
But that's good to remind us that we raided his tomb. So yeah, those magical weapons would be tied to him. We have blueprints though. We have things to tie to him. That we
Fortunately,
could be used.
yeah, no like body parts or anything like that usually gives you really good damage if you have like blood or skin or hair.
None of that.
It was the wife.
It was the wife. That's awkward.
So Ethel drilled his wife.
Jealous sex.
To death.
This is how we know, or this is how your dad knows that Ethel's hot.
One could say Ethel laid her to rest.
She would kill us if she heard us talking all this.
Do you say the items that you guys have that may or may not be his personal possessions?
I take out my 3 books, toss them on the floor in front of me. I don't like. It's probably the least likely out of all the other items everyone has. And I've read all 3 books. They're probably just random folklore, as he told me, of randomness.
I'll look at Benron and say, what about personal effects? Because the last thing because the rest of this has been kind of out of character. Well, actually, we never specified that it was out of character, so we could just be talking shit about him this entire time.
I would not have.
Absolutely.
This is a political area. Dandy's rather being quiet because the natural 20 is keeping his mouth in check.
Wasted.
Yeah. So I'll look at Benron and just what about any personal effects that Marcus could have come in contact with? Would that help?
It could help as long as they were his.
Well, we've got the blueprints.
Is signed by Marnie and Knox. The spell could go either direction.
Dandy, did you already pull out your books?
Yeah, they're on the floor in front of me without me saying anything. He said, "What positions do we have of Marcus?" And I just tossed those 3 books out from my end. That's all I got.
These books were well. I
From
asked
the mansion,
position.
while we were
Yeah.
gathering all the stuff, you mentioned there were 3 books. Dandy just took them, and then you told me they're just 3 random storybooks. So
We have
Meh.
these 3 books that were collected from his lab outside of a boon. I'm really trying to not mention the fact that we raided the Mittalon family crypt. So we're just gonna start we'll get there eventually, I'm sure. I don't suppose these books would help, would they?
I'm afraid not. This is something that it has to be something that would undeniably be Mittalon's.
I'm gonna look at Orion and just when Mittalon was alive, what was his choice weapon?
He was always creating something different. He did have a wand that he kept closely. It helped make some of his inventions, actually.
I'm gonna look at Revelor. Do you still have the wand that I gave you?
I'll produce it. You mean this one? The Wanda Webs? Bring it
Yep. Dad, did it look something like this?
Are his initials carved into the bottom of it?
That's a good question, DM. Are his initials carved into the bottom of it?
They are.
Oh, snap.
Nope, there is a WW on it.
Turn it around, son.
This
Took me a
clearly
second,
is
it
an
got there.
EE. What is wrong with you?
y'all don't know your numbers. It's a 3 and a 3.
Starting to second guess allowing these buffoons into my throne room.
Sorry,
To
it
be
has
fair,
been a very,
get what you
very
see.
long travel. It has been a long travel, very stressful. We like to appreciate the moments of humor that can arise. My apologies. Yes, his initials do appear to be on it.
Benron looks to Orion. It's undeniably his. It should work.
Benron, is this something you're comfortable with?
Not in here, but in a secure location with no signs that lead to where we are, then Yes.
Dandy will lean over to Kjorn. Wait, so when we scry on him, he can scry on us?
I'm gonna lean over.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me? I use a bow.
You asked the question. Sorry. Leaned over to Revelor. So when we scry on him, he could scry on us?
To my knowledge, vampires have the ability of true sight, which means that they are sometimes able to perceive those that are perceiving them.
And for the scry ability, the user just has to know the individual.
I mean, it works much better if you have an item of theirs or a lock of hair or something like that. But yes, if you know them, you're able to scry on them.
Cool. Cool. Now I have the nightmare fuel of knowing that Marcus could have been watching us this whole goddamn time.
Don't worry, Dandy. I'm sure, or Marcus probably doesn't think that we're much of a threat.
Silence. Just fear in the eyes and eating the meat.
So, what does this information have to do with the war at hand? Renta comes back with, we found one of those leeches on a close friend. It was quickly disposed of, but it's made its way close. It's not too far outside of Duvencrane, is where we found it. It's the first one I've heard of. It doesn't mean that there's not more.
What does she mean the first one she's heard of?
Since the time of the war, is the first time they've resurfaced.
Got it.
And by leech, we do mean like
Lever.
a house cat sized leech. Like this thing is it's not your average pond leech. It was big.
And the reason why I brought up the question is because I didn't know if, like, she was disguising her true self to the rest of the council, the way she brought it up, but it's more of just, since the last war, it's brought up. Okay.
I would still be throwing up minor illusions to show, not tell everything every now and then. So, like, when she's describing the leech, I would be showing my best recollection of what the leech looked like. And
Those leeches are single-handedly the reason why this war started.
Who says this, DM?
Sir Garmin.
That's fair.
What
So-
we're trying to... Oh, go ahead, Connor.
So the whole purpose of us coming to you and how this relates to the war is how the war is stupid and it should stop because you're fighting the wrong people.
Venerin responds, this is why we've taken a defensive approach in the last few years. We're not engaging, just protecting.
May I ask, before his disappearance, was... Give me a second. Galecki attempting to reestablish communication with the other states and try to rebuild diplomacy and begin conversations with the other states.
There was meetings with leadership in Decry, but they, just like ourselves, have. Decry doesn't have much of a formal military. They've only been in a defensive state.
Before, when Sir Garmin talks about being in a defensive state, can I look at my mother? What kind of face she has on? How she might feel about being in a defensive state?
Roll an insight check. With advantage because it's your mother.
All right, +3. 12.
Stone cold solid face. Not a flinch.
Dirty 20.
I want stone cold face.
If I didn't know her.
Stone
that's
cold
not how
solid
it
face.
happens.
Except she catches and makes eye contact with you and looks away quickly.
Part of why we asked to inform the council on this, we have been made aware of some of the persecution. And I am sure that the state of Ephron is not the only state doing it.
Galen speaks up. What?
Yeah, what are you talking about? There was no purse. It was X.
There are those within the state of Ephron. Sorry, do you prefer kingdom or state? Just so I can be politically correct, as it is.
Ephron is a state. Adroxia is a kingdom.
Thank you. There are those within the state of Ephron that are taking the civil war of Mittalon a little bit more personally and attacking the other races, persecuting them because they are different.
Based on your wardrobe, I would assume you were from Iorn and are probably talking about the rumors of Grana.
I am part of the defense military of my hometown. Yes, I am from Widmer, which is a smaller town of Iorn. However, yes, we've heard the stories of Grana, but they continue to present day. Not just in Grana.
I've certainly heard a lot of rumors and stories of atrocities in Grana, but we've never found any
Evidence?
thank you.
You're welcome.
We haven't found any evidence.
Dandy slowly lifts his head. Slight rage in his eyes. You mean you never found it to be true? Or you just never found evidence to go after those that were responsible for that incident.
Both?
So it's a folklore. What happened?
From what we can find, yes.
Then I looked to Connor. A folklore. Your father's death was a folklore.
We didn't just out of character. We didn't keep Sue's note, did we? We left that with Sue.
Which note?
The one that said her family was in danger and being persecuted in Ephron.
There was no note. We messaged that back and forth.
No, she got a note from one of her family members, and that's how we knew to look in the Forgotten Mountains.
No, we didn't. I didn't keep that for sure. I did not keep that.
Okay. Well, Rinta was there. She can at least back our story on it. Because the dwarves, when we met them in the mountains, the dwarves were telling us some. And like, so I'm gonna start just relaying or retelling why we're in Adroxia. Just, we have a dwarven friend from the town of Tarif who received a note from her family members saying that they were being persecuted and were having to run, and they were afraid of their lives, and that they were hiding in the Forgotten Mountains. We were able to get to them and help them get out, but they were terrified for their lives, and several of them had been killed.
Sure, Galen responds. There was a manhunt for my father's killer. Where are these dwarves? Renta speaks up. These dwarves are innocent, and they are not the person you're looking for. They are...
We got the note before we were even out of character. We were already on the way to go find the dwarves when it was told that Ephemeral had been killed days before. Because we found out when we got to not Adroxia, Jesus, Altanova, that Ephemeral had been killed. Just from my memory, like, Sue had asked us for help, and then when we got to the Temple of Helm, they were like, yeah, by the way, that's when hold on. Let me see.
So when Revelor found out that his father was dead, like, he had already been dead for a couple of months.
Oh, then I've got all of that mixed up in my head. That's my bad.
Sorry.
Yeah, once again, out of game, we know the dwarf who killed the father, a silver-tongued man
named Goldchin.
And brother, if we are looking for our father's killer, and it sounds like we also have access to those with scrying abilities, I do believe I have a personal effect of the dwarf responsible for killing our father. I still have Goldchin's dagger.
You also have the glove that he gave you when we first arrived. Because he tossed that glove down the chute at you.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know if I actually... I guess I technically never put that in my inventory, but still. It was like, had no charges left in it, so...
The dagger's the main key right now.
The dagger would work.
And the funny thing is, and this is out of character, but I also sliced him with his own dagger when I took it from him. So I think a while ago I asked Damien, is there still like a little bit of blood, like dried blood or something?
Good man.
You know, like.
I would want nothing more to see justice for our father. Benron, if you would assist us with that later. Unfortunately, we are not here for personal vendettas, but for every person on Mittalon, Benron speaks up. Sorry, not Benron. Sir Garmin speaks up. Sylphie, have you found anything with your ships, your scout ships? Any of these beaches or just unnatural storms out in the seas? Other than a few of the conches that they use to communicate, no.
These things. Pull out a pink conch shell.
Yes, actually.
Sick. And just put it back in the pocket nonchalantly.
Roll a perception check.
8. I don't care. I'm about to get a spear through the heart, aren't I?
I know Connor's sitting.
One of them.
Connor's sitting to one
Sorry.
side of me, but I don't know.
So,
The
I kn-
bowman should roll perception. He's pretty good at it.
I was gonna say, I'm at least close enough to Dandy because he leaned over to whisper at me and was like, "How
okay.
does this scrying thing work?"
Roll
That's
perception.
true, actually. Don't we have to be on either side of him because he leaned to...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm at this point. It's confirmed. I'm sitting between Revlar and Creorn.
Okay. Well, Otar didn't hear anything because, like, he has advantage with perception. So
Just
Revlor
imagine-
and
just imagine
Creorn,
Connor's
please
mother's just
roll
like,
a perception check.
and her breath, and I just rolled Sulo to hear it.
21.
22.
Hey.
When he pulls that thing out, you both hear that conch is talking right now.
As he goes to put it away,
Exactly. I think
I'm
we're in
gonna
the same.
reach
Both of
over.
us are gonna be
grab
like,
his-
"Hey, wait a minute, what?"
Yeah.
Whoa, guys, not here. What?
I'm gonna grab his hand and be like, "Listen to it. It's speaking. Do you hear that?"
I'll pull it up to my ear.
You hear it.
Yeah, that's not ocean. Do I understand what it's saying?
You do not. Selfie. I'm sorry. Did you say it's speaking to you?
Yeah, it's currently talking. It's quite a chatterbox.
Do you mind passing it to us?
Am I getting it back?
Yes, eventually. If it's important information, I can do this.
I look at the paladin. Do we trust him to give it back?
Selfie, not Carolia.
Do we trust them to give it back?
Just like a real snippet, just a quick like, what the frick is this even saying?
It's words.
I don't recognize it. I like it now. Oh, okay.
Just real quick, because
The only
I
thing
I
will be
I
here to
think
witness it. Hand it back.
no
Creorn.
Oh, sorry.
I was thinking of something, and the only thing I can think of is meatloaf and just seeing if we can understand a language. But I don't have any of the meatloafs that might tie into it.
All of them.
No, if I remember right too, I think talking to Cedric, I believe it was, it's like no known language, and like it's like there's something weird about it where you can't even magically divine it in most normal ways.
Damn it! I impulsively just toss it to the nearest person who's gonna take it up to him.
Well, Selfie's probably the closest. Because she's...
That guard have.
What?
I think he probably meant one of us. Like that would probably be like
Yeah.
either me or
Oh.
Creorn.
It's essentially whoever's the closest to hand it off. I toss it to them.
I don't know, right or left?
I give it to the one who's not gonna get shot. I give it to Revlor.
Is he the one who has the lead? Honestly,
In these chambers, I mean, it could go either way.
it could go either way.
But yeah, I'll take the shell and I'll go and hand it to
Like-
Sophie.
Least
of us-
likely to get attacked by someone in here, most likely to be assassinated.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
especially with your mother in the room.
What did Nasala do?
No, I was talking to Connor, sorry.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being funny. How I Met Your Mother.
The untold
Genocide?
Indy story?
So, are you guys passing the conch around?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone takes their turn pulling the string on the back. No, I'm kidding.
Everyone,
What do we do?
everyone take a hit off of the peace conch.
As they go up, just don't blow into it. That's been places.
This conch lets you cast augury a few times a day.
I don't want them to cast the spell. It's only a one-time use per day, so I'm gonna make it sound, don't put it on your mouth.
So, you're awful. The conch starts making its way around the table, and everyone puts it up to their ears. It's talking, but I got no clue. Until it reaches Benrun.
The Dragonborn?
No, the tabaxi.
And as soon as he puts it up to his ear, his eyes go wide and immediately starts grabbing pieces of paper and starts writing shit down. And it's just writing. Everyone quietly just sits there and watches. It's always something.
Mm-hmm.
Interaction required. I was interacting.
Can you see if there's a
Setting.
yeah?
It seemed to be a setting for this.
Weird. Okay. So everyone kind of quietly sits around as Benron is just writing furiously.
Lean over to Rivler. When's first lunch?
Connor's gonna pipe up and say, did I hear correctly before about how the persecution of humans at the start of the war was unfounded? No evidence for it? That was in character. Yeah. I don't think it's a very big secret whose child I am. Just gonna point up to his mom. I'm her son. Between her and Connor the blacksmith back in Grana. It was sort of a scandalous thing, as much as I understand it. She dressed me up in all the elven things and kept me mostly away from him. But I remember when things went down, and I remember the piles of bodies. I remember watching my father get pushed into a fire while she stood next to me. I don't know what cover-up she did, but that happened.
Everyone except for Benren stops and looks at her.
I thought that was sort of a commonly known thing, but apparently that has to be told to you.
As this, oh, sorry.
Like, I don't know if he has his hood on or not. Probably does. He's gonna make it more known about his ears. Like, that's why I completely have shunned this half of me. That's why I did this to myself.
As he says this, I'm gonna flip down my because I've been wearing my visors of the eagle or whatever they're called, eyes of the eagle, kind of up on my head a little bit. I'm gonna flip them down, and I'm gonna be intently watching the red tarantula and Caralia.
For the
And
first
if they
time,
make-
Dandy's now paying attention to this court. Will also look at the alleged legendary, prideful elf who gladly slaughter people and see what her facial expression looks like.
If they make any type of hostile action, I want to be readied for it. Not like drawing my bow and, pointing it at her, but I'm gonna be ready for it. And I'll be ready with a perception, or if you want a perception roll for like when they make a movement or something like that. But it is a very intense, like, my eyes are purely fixed on her right now, or both of them, I should say. Yeah, I'm going cross-eyed, trying to stare one at them, one at... I saw the fingers and I was like, yeah, I know what that means. It's the new 5e feat for fighters. We can just cross-eye ourselves to watch multiple targets.
Go ahead and roll your perception check with advantage.
Yeah.
Am I looking at Ensai? Because I'm not ready for a fight. I'm looking at her like,
first.
you prideful person, so proud of the elves and what you did. What is her facial expression now?
I
Sure,
got
roll an insight.
I've got 23 for perception.
Yeah.
Have you all heard of this genocide? You know those smokes aren't for campfire, right?
Discord glitched out for a second. What were y'all saying?
Yeah, it crashed for all of us.
Yeah, we were just making jokes, basically.
Yeah, but we're all back now, it seems.
Yeah, so I rolled a 17 for this insight check against the prideful lawbearer.
Unflinching and unmoving.
Ooh, okay.
Is she just being like super stoic and not reacting to anything, like a poker face? I guess he's typing something out to somebody.
I give her respect. If she's not flinching, she's okay with what she did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No remorse.
Yep. Did you roll as well, Connor? Or no?
No, he didn't ask me to roll.
I just sat back and watched the show.
Forgive my spelling.
Mhm.
No, she is unflinching and unmoving.
Is there a small rock down on my feet or something like that?
I imagine it's pretty pristine in here, but whatever.
There is not.
She dipped the moment the conch shell just went up, and we're just watching her illusionary thing just sit there. It's time to go.
King Regent Galen. With your permission, sir. And I believe I should announce to the entirety of the table. Your council is missing an extra person today. Also,
He
Dan looks weirdly at him. What?
he looks around. We've already spoke of diplomacy.
not diplomacy, and hence my statement of extra person. With all due respect to Galecki, he is not the person I am referencing at this moment.
Am I missing something here?
That may look like Caralia, but I don't believe that it is.
Everyone all turns and looks at her again. And you hear what sounds like exactly like Caralia. A perfect mimic. Her voice isn't moving. Her face isn't moving. The red tarantula unlocks her hands, and the incantation disappears. It was the illusion of Caralia. And in a puff of red smoke, she disappears as well.
I'm gonna. Am I within 60 feet of her?
Have this gem and we fucking use it.
Am I within 60 feet of her?
Sure.
I cast Counterspell.
Unless she's also an illusion.
I don't care. I will use it in case it's a dimension door type deal. The moment she drops it, if I see her getting ready to disappear, I throw my fist forward with the gem and then release the magic at her as a counterspell.
You counterspell her stepping away, and you see her other two arms come out from behind her back, and much like using that wand, you see a web come from her hand, and she zips up to the ceiling.
So
If the reaction is a counterspell, Is she the moment she zips up? Do I have time to cast a spell?
I was gonna say I was also readied for her to make a action.
Always the violence.
No,
It's this time. It's not a violent action.
that's fine. But just as you guys were readying to do something, so was she.
That's fair.
You said she's just at the ceiling though, or is she out of sight?
At this point, she just zipped 80 feet out of you guys'
With
to the ceiling.
With my eyes of the eagle, I can see.
You can still see her.
Creatures. Okay.
Yeah, you can still see her.
Okay. All I want to do is bonus action Hunter's Mark her, so I can follow her.
Okay.
Is there like a open glass ceiling to the top of this domain area? And do I see her heading for that glass ceiling?
Yes.
Okay, I will grab on to the paladin. And I'm going to dimension doors past the glass ceiling above it.
What?
With the only two words being, fuck no. Yep.
G2 and Style are left behind.
Oh, Style is his own entity.
Yeah.
Alright, that's fair.
Yeah.
You guys dimension door to the top of the glass ceiling.
So our feet is on top of the glass. Past it, so we're
We're blocking the exit so the chat can hear me.
The glass ceiling, is it like the whole ceiling of the whole place, or is it like a small section is glass ceiling?
Small sections. They're like large skylights.
So there's several of them dotted around.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's not. Okay. Okay.
Okay. You guys are now on the ceiling.
Where do you think you're going?
Who are you talking to?
The red tarantula who's trying to escape.
I don't see her.
But I can see her, right?
Wait, so
Not
she
anymore.
hit for the ceiling. Oh, she casted invisibility. Damn it!
I
Nope.
am
Well, you see the hunter's mark. She got to the ceiling. You teleported out. She stepped away.
left.
She
From below, past the glass, they hear in a small, muffled but loud enough voice, "God damn it!"
because this is a perceived threat, can I make a survival check to see where she might have gone?
Is that in some
Because-
form of ability?
With Hunter's Mark, I have survival. So I would, because it says you have advantage on wisdom, perception, or survival check you make to find it. Is it a perceived threat to like identify where my mark is? Because as I'd see her go up, I'd see her shift away. Is that in the terms of survival? Of like following my hunter's mark?
Sure.
Okay.
I've
I've never actually done a
It's-
survival roll before, so I was like, how does it work? Because
Yeah.
it's a wisdom.
It's
category.
well, because like survival is what you use for like tracking for like rangers, because it is a ranger spell.
Yeah.
So you can make your survival check. I will tell you that it is a high DC because you're not exactly in a familiar castle.
Mhm.
Yes, you've spent the last 2 days there, but like, you can guarantee she knows this castle better than you.
Yeah. But also, as I was watching her, did she... So it's kind of twofold. Like, one, did she magically shift away, or did I see her, like, crawl into a hidey hole kind of thing?
She magically teleported.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna be like, okay, she's not up there right now. I saw her crawl or like magically away. I just want to see, like, Hunter's Mark, give me a clue. Is she gonna, like, is she within the castle, or did she, like, step away?
All right, go ahead and make your check.
Okay, and that was advantage. That's a 4. That's horrible. And that's slightly better. That gives me a 17 of getting an idea of where she is.
Yeah, but the council's just now hearing muffled swearing above.
Hunter has crow's beak. He's ready to smite.
She's gone! She teleported away! It ran! Your mother ran! Where's the pride? Where's the elven pride, huh? Mrs. Oh, what I did was right! There was nothing wrong! And I'm just gonna go on this, like...
Connor's just gonna look at you and say, "Why are you madder than I am?"
They killed the humans because they're so-called right. What they did was justified. If it was so justified, why did she leave, huh? She was so confident in her decisions because elves are the high rulers and humans are the lowly bearers. That's why humans wear collars, and she abandoned all of us, including you. She abandoned your father. The fuck is wrong with you people?
I get all that, and I'm angry. I'm just wondering why you're angrier than I am. Right now.
Because I got in trouble for killing people, yet she killed people, and it is justified.
The fact that she left means that she knows it wasn't justified. She knows what she did was wrong. That's why she didn't stick around to get caught. She's on the run now.
Just taking that loud swear to a mumbling swear, pacing on the roof that I have no idea how to get down from. I'm not a
Listen.
4-level slut.
Listen, 2 things. She's my mother. And it's weird to say that I'm just gonna, like, heft the crow's beak. Really want to use this on her. But we can both do that when it comes. Second thing, how do we get down from here?
I don't know.
After all of that, I have a solution for it, so don't worry. But also, I want to know what is... I want to make sure I have the name right. Selfie. What is Selfie's reaction to all of this? Because Selfie is on the council and in her position because of Carolia. So, one, did my 17 do anything for us? Or for me?
Also, she's head of the Crown's Guard, and like some shit's happening like right next to all the royalty, so that probably would be good to notice too.
Yep.
She's in arms. Like, she's ready to fight. Understand that the reason why she's there because of Carolia isn't because of some connection that they have. Carolia went to bat for Selfie after Ephemeral was murdered.
Okay.
So it was basically like she got to keep her job because of Carolia, and she wasn't murdered for diligence. Yeah, something like that. So like she is only alive and still in her position because of Carolia. That is the only relation between them.
And you gotta remember, whoever talked to her last, she was upset when we brought this sketchiness to her. She was pissed.
Yep, but we weren't in the room when she got pissed. And so that's why I'm like, I don't know what her reaction is. I'm going based off of what I know, what Creorin knows. Even more so. Is like really trying to focus on like not the little bit of meta knowledge that I have, not piecing that together, but like following Creorn's train of thought and being like, okay, Caralia, or we know that Selfie's in this position because of Caralia. Is there a favor that's owed? Is there, what were the terms of that? And watching Selfie and making sure that nothing's about to happen to Galen or Nicella. So.
Yeah. So, Selfie, ready to fight. And she's ready to fight. So are the Crown's Guard that are like guarding the doors and stuff like that. With the whole commotion, like they are ready to protect the king and was queen. Kings. Whatever.
He
Yes.
would be Queen Regent at that point, probably.
I don't know, Regent. Like once removed. The royal family. Everyone else, Benren's like diligently still writing everything down. Everyone else is like, what the fuck is happening? Like Benron and Selfie are the martial people here, and Benren's trying to be a linguist right now. You do get a ping from your hunter's mark, but it's faint and far away.
Okay.
Not like miles, but like probably already on the other side of the castle.
But we don't know that, and I have no way of.
Yeah, but we're on the roof.
Is there rafters going across this, or is it like a glass dome?
Both.
It's like multiple small skylights that he said that were like dotted around the ceiling.
Is there like a strong section of rafters near the opening of that skylight?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd
Okay.
be like framing it.
Okay. Anything that I can, like, gently shoot an arrow up and over with a piece of rope attached?
Sure.
Okay, I'm trying to help the guys get off the roof.
The window's not open.
I thought you said that there was an open window.
No, it's just skylight. So
a
it's just
window.
it's just window where light's shining through. None of them are openable. Naturally,
Then what
anyway.
were they? Oh, I thought that's
I
why
thought when I canceled her spell, I thought she was gonna burst through the roof ceiling glass and escape. So I decided to try and
Oh.
cut her off, only for her to teleport again. And I only had one charge on that counter spell.
Okay, I thought there was like an opening that she was headed to, like one of the skylights was open.
No, there's no opening up there.
Okay, they're
I
on
was
their own.
waiting for the DM to say roll for initiative, but I never got that. So
Oh, she was waiting.
Mm-hmm. Renta, can you help them? Do you have anything for that?
Did you really just ask me that? Fine.
Please?
You're welcome.
Thank you.
clunk, 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 through the glass window, and you see just Dandy looking down at everyone, just trying to wave. We can't get down.
I guess
we
I
can't get down.
Through the commotion, Otar woke up.
Hi, Odor.
Legenti could also probably help. I know I can ask Renta for it. I don't really have the credibility with Legentis, so
For the sake of brevity, Renta walks herself up there and shows you guys down.
oh, there's a stairway.
Yeah.
A ladder.
Halfway down the stairs or ladder. Renta? Aren't you a spellcaster?
Yes.
Why didn't you also counter her teleportation?
Because you were already countering me.
Counterspell would counter the counterspell?
You don't cross the
I
streams, Dandy.
didn't mean the second time. But you know what? I think I'm done for the day. I'm just gonna...
I'm here to protect Sir Gorman.
I'm just walking down alongside her, pondering.
Yeah, I know how it sounds.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Just want to make sure you knew.
After a few minutes, the commotion dies down, and Benron finally finishes his writing. Okay, well, now it's just on repeat. That's obnoxious. But I know more than I ever have before. Everyone else walks in.
Yeah, so we eventually get back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
The creature we're looking for is not of this realm.
It's that ocean dweller, right?
Yeah, we knew it was an ocean dweller, but specifically from the water plane.
The water, what's it now?
The creature you're looking for, as in Katoon or the leeches?
Nah, the leeches.
The leeches. Okay.
Yeah.
The leeches, it goes by Vel. And it seeks to, put it plainly, cause destruction until the land is sunken and this is a new plane of water for it to reside.
Huh.
What do we know about that conch shell? Where it came from? And
Ethel handed it to me. She said it was a key component. Listened to it every now and then. I could never understand it, but you know, it was there in the background. We knew the leeches came from this underwater, whatever the heck. And there's a pause from Dandy. Oh. Oh.
what?
Well, first, just to confirm, what the hell is a water plane? Looking at the tabaxi guy who said all this.
There are other places, like here. You're familiar with heaven and hell.
The theory of them, yes.
Well, much less of a theory and more of a reality. They are from a different plane of existence. There are 7 heavens and 9 hells. There is a plane for almost every god, but there are also the elemental planes.
And one of these water planes is a hell plane?
I've never been over there personally, but it is a plane of only water, no air, no sky, no land. Just deep, bottomless ocean.
And this Vel wants to drown our world. Hey guys, here's an interesting theory looking back at our party. I say this out loud so everyone can hear, but how do you suppose a planet that's like 70% water with landmass gets put into the water? What if you dig it under?
Why would Mittalon want that?
I don't know. It's just the theory I came up with.
Right, and it's valid. It works, but what does Mittalon fit into this? My first theory was that he wanted to, rule the place again. So he was inciting a civil war amongst
That's what I thought too,
everybody
yeah.
to weaken them all or whatever. But
What's there to rule if Mittalon just buries it under the water?
we only saw Mittalon once. We ran from him.
Well, yeah, after he'd spoken to us and lorded over us with his big D energy.
We didn't see one, but do you think he has a leech on him?
Well, he was human. He couldn't have lasted that long, even with the leech on him. We saw how he was
He's
sucking.
a vampire.
But he's a vampire and has a leech on him?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What if he has both?
That makes him double dangerous. But unlike Leobor, he doesn't have blood to suck on, so how does that even work?
I hardly know how vampires work. I'm just spitballing, but or that's their original purpose, and Mittalon's using them for his own, linking them with the crown and what have you.
Call them leeches for lack of a better term. They don't actually live on blood, but they attach to your body to control your mind. That's why the one that you guys killed turned into salt water.
What language was that speaking?
That's not even the
Primordial.
yeah, it's I couldn't remember if it was primordial or if it was abyssal, but this didn't even tell me, so I thought that was infernal.
If it was infernal, we've got the meat for that, I thought, but
I do, but
Okay, so
Hell, abyssal
okay,
is
so it's
abyss.
probably primordial.
okay.
Okay, yeah. So yes, we're taught it come from a druidic tribe who some of our tribes protect portals to these planes, stop inhabitants from coming and going.
why the hell did Ethel think I would understand this thing? I don't speak primordial. I've barely learned Elvish in all my human years.
I'm not sure. But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, shells, you're supposed to hear the ocean, right?
Yeah, even though it still doesn't sound anything like the ocean.
I mean, it's just the voice of the things that come from the plane of water, the ocean. I don't know. Well, that's a lot of info.
Yeah.
That changes a lot of things.
I mean, it doesn't really change a lot. It just connects a lot of the dots, because there's still a giant construct being built by a vampire Mittalon, who is now, we know, has a chance of using this thing to dig our landmass into the sea for this whatever the heck to take over. Vel, you said? I mean, the name sounds hot, but I don't know what this thing looks like.
I think she'd be a good relationship partner, Dandy. Sounds like she would sort of take everything.
I'm
you
just
have.
talking about a new ruler. Get your mind out of the gutter. God.
Anyway.
I know I've been barking up the same tree since you guys have gotten here. I've known Mittalon for many years. Is there a chance he's still on our side?
Who's saying that?
Ryan.
Orion.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say the same thing. It's like that's the same sort of idea that I've been thinking myself. Not to give Mittalon too much credit. The one run-in we had with him was not very pleasant, and I definitely don't agree with a lot of the things he's doing. But maybe
Didn't he talk about killing us or something?
maybe he's trying.
Technically, no. He has not talked about killing us at all. The only interaction we have, he just simply said that there's one person who has a loud mouth, Gulchin, who's probably the dwarven person that killed your father in the first place. Maybe, I don't know. And then the idea that he technically let us go.
Mittalon put the hit out on my father.
Shit.
We don't know that for sure, but we do know that he seems to be on friendly terms with the person who did kill my father.
What we know is we were told during our one encounter of Mittalon, he says almost the entire council of Mittalon come to work on my project. The rest of you can run. I'll always find you, and I'll make sure you stay dead this time. Goldchin may have a silver tongue, but he owes me money.
That was from Mittalon?
That is what Mittalon told us when he had us trapped.
And that wasn't like a message to tell other people. That was what he said to us.
That was what he told us. He said, we step in, this is from my notes. We step into the first room, trigger a trap, door slam down on each side. Marcus says, almost the entire council of Mittalon come to work on my project. The rest of you can run, I'll always find you, and I'll make sure you stay dead this time. Goldchin has a silver tongue, and he owes me money.
Alpha was also thinking that we were past council members. Did Mittalon also think we were past council members?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, he also thought we were someone else.
And more context there, it sounds like, yeah, maybe he was the one who paid for our father to be assassinated because
He says,
Goldchin,
I'll make
Didn't
sure
you
you
think it was
stay dead
Glavendor?
this time.
if Goldchim owes him money, it's probably because he mistook me for my father, thinking that Ephemeral was still alive after he was supposed to have been killed by Goldchin. Therefore, Goldchin would have owed him money.
So, who of the original council is still alive?
Ethel. There is still a Glavendor in charge of the Iorn army, although from what we understand, it's not Glavendor Bailey anymore. And there's another one.
We have a Xena, we had an Adathor, we had a Fimriel, we had a Glavendor, we had a Leobine, and we had a...
There's...
Yeah.
I've got the entire list of them. Give me a sec. Where'd it go? You had Zeno Trestarno, who was confused for Otar. Adthor O'Madden, who was confused for Connor. Ethel Addington, which she wasn't confused for any of us. Rebelor was looked to and called Ephemeral. Glavendor was called Dandy. And then there was Lilbine, or Dandy was called Glavendor, sorry. And then Lilbine, who wasn't referenced to any of us. But there's another council member that Ethel was saying that she knew was in Decry.
I thought she was just looking for the living Glavendor to see if they could help.
She said there was one. I thought she had mentioned that one was in Decry. Last she had heard.
So there was one that was in decry after finishing building Valencia. King Lilbine is still alive, but not on Mittalon.
Yeah, Adthor hadn't been seen since Valencia was built. That's what I was thinking of. There it is. Zeno might be alive, but he would be in hiding. He was an eccentric. Descendants of Glavendor are in charge of the Iornian army. Adthor hasn't been seen since Valencia was built. Yeah. And that's the notes that I have on the current, or on council members. Because we knew that Ephemeral was dead, and that was just what she knew of.
What does Carolia have to play in this?
The more unrest that there is amongst the world, the harder it is to see an outside threat.
Damien doesn't know what you mean.
She provided a distraction. If okay, there's many possibilities that she could have been playing at. She could have been a distraction if she's working with or for Mittalon. She could have been a distraction so that at least Epheron was more focused on what was going on within the state and not so focused on what was going on outside with, oh, hey, weird, this, did you hear that a boon was getting attacked by metal machines? Isn't that weird? I wonder what's going on there.
If this tarantula really is as strong, she could have a leech on her and killed the other one? I don't know.
It's entirely possible that she, for lack of a better term, or quite literally could have, opened the door for Goldchin to have access to Ephemeral. It could be that she is a pawn and the red tarantula is the real enemy.
I somehow doubt that last one, but I suppose it is a possibility.
I'll just, because I don't know, I'm going to put out the options that I can think of. Truth be told, I don't know what's going on with her, but that's the first couple options that come into mind. But honestly,
Genocide of humans and dwarves is top of that list.
Yeah, the first two seem the most likely. She's either keeping Epheron so distracted by what's going on internally that nobody can see the external threat.
Or it could
And
be that
go ahead.
it could be that she just really hates dwarves and humans that much. She doesn't necessarily have to be tied into the whole thing.
That's also true. But if she is using or trying to be a distraction, what better distraction for the kingdom of Adroxia than an assassination?
I don't even know if it's necessarily so much of a distraction. I mean, the Lawkeeper does wield quite a bit of power, but the Lawkeeper is not the king. And no offense to my brother, I would say this of myself as well, neither of us are the man that our father was. Without our father on the throne, it would be much more difficult to keep a power-hungry person under control. I said neither of us are the elf my father was. I'm retconning that in my mind.
So we have former king of Mittalon building a giant construct underground. We have a sea beast controlling titans. We have the old queen of Grana. Killing people. There's so much going on.
I feel like we're missing something in that list. The Sea Beast, Marcus, Lawmaster. Whatever Nox might be up to.
Hawk and Dirk. A couple other things.
Yeah, Hawk and Dirk's in the wind.
Right, what's the spreading of vampirism have to do with anything? Just...
Well, vampires... I was gonna say, you've got... workers.
Turn your cherished friends into vampires, making them believe this is the right thing to do. They just blindly follow. Or they get
And-
leeches as well, if your theory is correct.
Here's even another question. If all of that's going on, why would Hawk and Dirk bother to summon Farid?
I think that was more of a distraction to keep us busy so he escaped. So that was like an isolated incident, I believe.
That was a whole chamber, though. That was
That was not an accident.
not an accidental or spur of the moment thing. That was a thing he was trying to do for a while, and he used it as a trap for us.
You don't quite trip, fall, and summon Farid. You gotta have that
Well,
prepped.
I understand that part. I'm speaking more along the lines of, like, he summoned that to get rid of us.
And
if the worst case scenario, he tried to get rid of the town, 5 individuals were able to take it down, so I don't think it would be Titan level devastation.
And according to Cedric, it seemed like that was kind of a known problem that rises up every now and then. Farad just tries to escape every now and then, and so it doesn't seem like it was something specifically in the works. It's something that was already existence that he took advantage of.
If I may, Legenti speaks up. As someone who studied curses a lot growing up, I know that vampirism is tricky. It starts with a single curse and is spread through death. But anyone who's cursed and brought back, well, they're mindless. They don't have. They're just fiends. Until the vampire that turns them is then killed.
Then what happens to them?
They get their minds back. They become like Hawk and Dirk and Mittalon sound like. You said you found the vampire in Mittalon's crypt.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was more mindless than the other two, though.
Reckon Mittalon probably tried to bring back his wife.
The girl that Ethel stabbed in the coffin?
So he killed her twice?
Once. Someone else killed her.
Fair enough.
Not that we are supposed to show sympathy for enemies, but perhaps Orion and Revlor are correct. He wanted his family back. Why would he submerge our world?
It could be. I suppose two things can be true at once. Talon may have his own nefarious ends, but I'm not sure those ends necessarily would line up with the complete destruction of our world. It would serve him no purpose, even if he was not the same man and was completely evil. It would make no sense.
As we're talking, can I do another roll to see where or if the ping is moved?
At this point,
Or is it just like a constant thing?
we originally thought it was a constant thing. After reading the spell, we found out that it's not.
Okay.
But at this point, she's teleported far away enough that you don't have a clue.
I'm gonna just bring that to light and just be like, by the way, I had a marker on the red tarantula. She's gone. Like, I have no idea where she went. She was on the other side of the castle for a little bit. I got nothing.
Galen says,
Revlor, don't you have sisters?
I have a sister, yes.
In the castle?
Not to my knowledge. I believe she's in school.
Any of the family members besides your brother here that's in the castle?
My knowledge, my other brother should also be off doing his own thing.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure no one here is dying as we're having this conversation of the world ending.
I would imagine at this point, while they could cause great destruction, their main goal would just be to escape. But I appreciate you keeping your thoughts going.
Yeah, totally. It only took 20 minutes, but yeah.
Galen says to Sir Garmin, "You've been on the council longer than, well, everyone except for my mother. Afterwards, privately, let's review and find out what Caralia and the Red Tarantula, what information they may have to put us at risk. But as for now, what do we have for solutions? We have nothing but problems."
Step 1. You need to fill that seat. And I point over to the diplomat seat. You need to get that started. Right now, Ethel's heading over to Duven Crane to talk to their rulers to let them know the information and see if they're willing to join against this greater evil. They think it's just a vampire. We now know it's some underwater god from another plane of existence. I don't know what she is. A bigger monster. But the goal is still the same. Save everyone. As many as we can. But to do that, we need a diplomat. Not a lawbearer. Someone to hold out the peace treaty.
Also,
How much does that pay for?
I'm going to kind of like side eye and then talk over that. We also discussed enemies, we have not yet discussed allies. As you said, we've discussed nothing but problems so far. Have we given any more thought to trying to find Alpha or Primus? We both know that they are not fans of Mittalon.
Were we told that Primus was here? Or
In a cave somewhere.
We know
hiding.
that Primus is on Mittalon.
Primus the god is on Mittalon?
They revied him as a god, but many people revive the Titans as gods. No
He's-
offense.
We know that Primus is from a different plane.
But he's here on Mittalon somewhere.
In a cave.
With the first construct.
Well, there's only so many of those around.
Yeah.
We took a cave from one city to Altanova. Pretty sure there are plenty of them around.
Dandy, you know what sarcasm is.
I invented it.
So, yeah, so somehow I need to find out where he is, fill the diplomatic seat. We need to stop fighting.
You need to use the one to scry on what Mittalon's currently doing, if you can. And I need to look for a drink.
For now, we shouldn't consider Mittalon. I think it's still safe to consider him an enemy.
Number one priority.
I have a question for you, Benron. You said that the blueprints weren't exclusively Mittalons. If they weren't, would you be able to scry on Nox?
Assuming this is a blueprint of both of theirs, then I would simply just scry on one or the other, and I would kind of have a 50-50% chance of it working. It would either not work because the spell went to the wrong person, or it would work and I could still maybe scry on the wrong person.
I don't know how this whole magic thing works. You know. Yeah.
Neither do I, and I have it.
But it might not be a bad thing to kind of get an idea of what Nox is up to, as well, because if he was part of Project Khatum 2.0, there's just a lot of unanswered questions there, and if it's possible to scry on him through the blueprints, that might come in handy. I understand that, like anything, magic is not perfect or, most of the time it's not snap your fingers and it happens. But it might be something that we could try.
It could take some trial and error, but something we could explore, yes. And speak of allies, I can call upon the druidic tribes.
You said that some of them guard the portals to Waterworld, Waterplane.
Yes.
If they were guarding some of them, wouldn't they have alerted either you or somebody in your tribe that, I guess it could be a different portal that Vel came through, but it seems like that's kind of a major thing there that they would have been like, hey, by the way, this happened.
Unfortunately, that did happen.
I'm sorry, what?
That explains your reaction when you heard, or, yeah, well, when you translated that message.
The Water Tribe was destroyed.
By the Fire
Oh.
Tribe.
About 40 years ago.
$40 years ago, and Mittalon disappeared 20 years ago.
No, Mittalon died 100 years ago.
Sorry, the war started 20 years ago. That's what I meant. Leeches that latched on to titans. Destruction that befell the city. Why am I here again?
For the free breakfast? Otar says with a smile.
That is a good constellation, Otar.
Additionally, as far as solutions go, we might want to start looking at ways to convince Vel not to destroy our world. I imagine something that powerful from the plane of water is not something we're going to simply poke with pointy sticks until it goes away. We might want to start thinking about, just as you would with a pest trying to overtake your crops, how you would convince it to go elsewhere.
I'm not a farmer. Wouldn't know how to do that.
Nor am I.
And our navy isn't strong enough to handle that.
Truth be told, Vel could be so deep in the water you can't even find it. I think a viable first step, as stated, it is time for the return of diplomacy, both as a member of your council and amongst the 3 states. Understandably, this will not be an easy process. There are many, many misgivings from everything that has happened. But it takes one to start the conversation.
Sir Garmin, I can send word to Nover. And Rons. I can reach out to the Fire Tribe.
Nover, he's the dragon that lives in the desert, right?
Nover is, yeah.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, how long will that take?
Message?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a theory. Whoever diplomacy you decide to put in charge of that seat, maybe a magic person who can teleport and make days, weeks, journeys turn into hours. It helps out a lot. Unlike someone who's probably a days out from a Duven crane while we have been fighting our way through all this mess. Wherever the hell she's heading.
She doesn't want to leave her crab.
Last I knew, she was headed for, I think Calpheon.
She is. I'm sick of Ethel's shit.
Entirely out of character. If we ever do release a line of merch, we're gonna have to call it Crab House.
Oh, Dandy's not going to call it anything but the Crab
that's
House.
That's the company name for our merch, is Crab House.
That's
Crab House Supplies.
Crab House LLC.
Okay. So we send messages out to Decry. We form an alliance and get them taken care of.
It needs to be more than just Decry, because if there aren't messages sent to all three, it could be perceived that Decry and Epheron are attempting a team up against Iorn. How do we get message quickly to Glavendor in the capital? Or whoever, because Glavendor's the commander of the army, but we need whoever would be in charge of Iorn diplomacy. And in charge of Iorn in general, do I know who's in charge of Iorn? Like right now? Okay. Just like whoever is ruling over Iorn, it can't just be to Nover. I don't suppose... Who told me that Nover was a dragon? Oh crap. That was almost bad.
Fan Ren.
Who did?
Fan Ren. The Dragonborn Bard.
Yes, and then... Oh, we were asking Ethel about some of the names that the conch was whispering. So that is something also, like the conch was whispering several names. Veranda.
It's all the Titans. It's Zarka,
Zarka.
Garmoth, Khatum, and Nover.
Well, Zarka's not a Titan, it's a demon. And
The major
Veranda,
parties at play for the damages.
yeah. But that's... Is there... I don't suppose there's like a dragon who lives in Iorn, is there, that we can contact?
No. But Benron speaks of, well, actually the list that is, well, I have Vel's list. Karanda, Khatum, Nover, Offen, Zarka, Quint, Maraka, Garmoth.
What's that list again? Just, sorry.
Karanda, Khatum, Nover, Offen, Zarka, Quint, Maraka, Garmoth.
Okay.
Those are just the major players on the list.
And we know who a couple of those are.
This could be a list of people to get rid of or to turn on their side.
Who's Karanda? Do any of those names... I mean, I'm familiar with the names Khatum, Nover, Zarka, and Garmoth.
Benron speaks of. Karanda is a fabled queen of the Harpies.
Stormbringer.
Yes, actually.
Okay. Is that V... Is that Veranda with a V or Karanda with a K?
With a K.
Okay. I had it written down incorrectly the first time, so I had Veranda, which is why it didn't initially click in my brain. But we were told about her from Ethel.
It's a very large list of all the names that are posted, or like that he has written down, and I'll
Okay.
send them in our Discord later. But it's like a list of 15 names. I'll just send it later so you guys can add it to your notes. But
Okay.
just so that like we know, and I'll for the stream. We have Karanda, Khatum, Nover, Offen, Zarka, Quint, Maraka, Garmoth, Red Nose, Dim Tree Spirit.
The reindeer?
Nope. Dastard Beg, Mudster, Katsvariak, Muskin, Gaiath, Jehaku, Farid, Moghulis, Ronan, Ahib Griffin, Saunil, Steelnux, Cavalli, Titum, and Lieber.
And these are all Titans.
These are all the names that he spoke.
And those are all Titans?
Of varying levels, yes.
Right, okay.
Specifically of varying levels. Like you guys said earlier, you guys took care of Farron pretty easily, and he was on the list. So it's not
And-
just Titans of Mittalon, but
Lieber, now that he is free of his leech, he seemed to be more on our side.
God,
Sir
better
Garmin-
be. We saved him. Yeah, they killed him, but saved him.
Sir Garmin speaks up. I would personally trust Lieber with my life. Lieber would be on our side until his final breath. As long as his mind is his own, of course.
I think especially since we just recently freed him, he would feel like he owed us a favor as well. Not that he probably, from what you're saying, wouldn't support us anyway.
And I thank you for your assistance.
So now it comes down to, is this Vel's list of who he wants to control, or who he needs to get out of the way? Or both?
Or both. We just said that in stereo.
Yep.
It's like you guys are related or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta imagine
There's like a weird moment of like, okay.
At least we're on the same train of thought. Like,
I would like everyone to make a perception check.
based on what sense?
This is going to be feeling.
Okay.
Just feeling.
19.
Right upon.
Uh, 17 plus 4 for a 21.
11. Revlor got 7.
Magic boy has magic sense. Maybe, I don't know if I failed or not.
Otar had already fallen back asleep,
That makes total sense.
but his perception was even high enough. As you guys are all discussing, you guys feel as the ground beneath you begins to shake momentarily, and it stops.
I don't...
Earthquakes common this time of year?
You lived here?
The answer is
Oh,
yes.
there we go.
Earthquakes happen.
Okay. That was a nice little tremor we had.
Everyone okay?
Emotionally or physically?
Emotionally, I don't give a shit.
Fuck you too, that's fair.
We were just
Is that
talking.
what it said?
My next question. Oh,
I like how I can tell just based on like the attitude.
We were just talking about a giant snake possibly digging the earth out from under us. So it's
No, yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah, I don't like that coincidence.
like a.
But it woke up. It woke up Otar.
did that feel like an earthquake, or did that feel like movement underneath of us?
It felt like an earthquake.
Earthquake definition: the shift of tectonic plates that's
Doesn't
easily
an
as two
earthquake
rocks
feel
grinding
like you
together like a
moved underneath?
giant worm digging underground.
Ouch. My ears.
Sorry.
It's all good. It wasn't that I could tell by how you were talking, so I was like, volume down, volume down, volume down.
All right. And I would like everyone.
Roll initiative.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
I would like everyone except for Creorn to roll another perception check with disadvantage. Creorn, yours is a straight roll.
Oh, come on, that was.
So it's sight.
Yeah, the first one, 4 plus 4 for 8. Second one, 2 plus 4 for 6. I only not care more.
Dandy's watching the stone underneath of his foot, like,
I'm terrified. I go back to the shield. I'm hugging the shield. I'm petting the shield like a comfort animal.
I got a dirty 20. I like having a +5 for perception.
Okay. So, is that our plan? We reach out to neighboring states. We look into Mittalon.
You guys gather your armies, notify the others, get them all together, have them gather their armies. You all take care of Mittalon however you can.
The state, or the country.
As one unit.
I meant the country of Mittalon.
That's the
'Cause we
unit.
No, like, they take care of the country of Mittalon. We gotta deal with the person Mittalon.
No, they can take care of that too. They have an army. And if we get all 3 states together, they all have armies. And then they will be good.
Wait, so nobody saw anything with their checks?
Nope.
That's terrifying.
I'm tempted to just preemptively throw on a shield of faith, but I feel like that'd be a little bit of metagaming.
Just Obi-Wan and I have a bad feeling about this.
In the meantime, I would also like to try to search for the crown of Mittalon, and also, like as I said before, it would be wise to start coming up with strategies to, and it would be wise to learn more about Vel and strategies which to turn that particular problem back.
I wasn't there when you received your necklace, was I?
You were not, but
Got it.
grant to Josh, like I'm gonna be talking to you again because we just tried to crack that safe without a key.
While magic sensing inside a very weird, like cylinder, like magical item.
I'm also gonna need to talk to my brother and my sister.
While we're all here and discussing this, I don't suppose any of you guys know Prince Niobe? Sorry, Prince. Fuck.
I was gonna say Niobe's a name that we know.
Yeah, I was just like, I know that from somewhere.
Niobe's in Altanova. He's head of the pit.
I was gonna say if he's a prince, because I was like, that's the one that Dandy owes the knife to.
Just wide-eyed, but no comment from Dandy.
Not Prince Niobe. Prince Bereeds.
Not without a
Is it
history check and a damn good one.
Very well. Everyone
What
reach
if-
out to your contacts in the other states. I will try to get in contact with Prince Bereeds and make a meeting place in Altanova. It is the only neutral state between us all.
Who is Prince Burides?
He's the founder of Altanova.
Okay.
Also known as King Lilbine's son.
Good to know.
Okay.
All right. I believe we all have our tasks. We
I
can
know I completed mine.
reconvene in a week or two.
Well, that's all for you to do. What
I was gonna say
should
that's
we do?
Well, I would enjoy giving Revelor some more information about the job at hand. Maybe I can step down from Regent, live my own life for a little while.
I feel that.
But until we have a plan, we just have steps.
You're gonna investigate my mother who ran off in the middle of a meeting as soon as things got pointed at her, right?
Yes.
All
not
right.
even in the middle of the meeting. She didn't even bother showing up.
Selphie responds, "We're already looking for her."
Investigates the polite word for hunt, right?
Right.
Well, if that's all for today, I'm gonna get a drink. Anyone who cares to join me, to the bar. And he's just gonna grab the shield, get Chi2, and very cautiously, because there was a recent earthquake, walk out there with whatever strut his natural 11 charisma can carry him.
All right. Everyone disperses slowly, shaking hands, saying goodbyes. Thanks, Nate. He said we're all so entertaining. Watching all of this unfold, Revlor, I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
I have a +5 on those, so here's hoping.
That's good. That's very good. It's not good enough.
Too bad the DC was 20.
No, he's within 10 feet of me. He gets like +3 to that.
Wait, am I still within that distance of you?
I didn't say I left the room.
Hold on.
I was gonna say, is that a passive thing?
It is a passive thing. Let me look at my stuff real
Actually,
fast to
fine
make
with whatever
sure.
This is happening. It's probably story based.
Boop, 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 boop.
If it matters, if he's within 30 feet of me, I have counter charm where he can't be charmed or frightened.
I have resistance to charm, or not resist.
I was gonna say-
advantage against charm.
Yeah, I was gonna
or-
say Elven advantage for charmed and magic. Well, magical sleep.
No one within 10 feet of me can be charmed, but also he gets +3 to saving throws, so 19 becomes 22.
You get this feeling chilling down your spine and in your gut. while to us as, Grant and Damien and everyone else, like, oh yeah, it's just a normal council meeting, this is no big deal. To your characters, though, like, these are real world problems. These are bone-chilling problems. And it feels like you're in the middle of it. You get the feeling, the sensation, as everyone's walking out of the room. You just want to sit here for a second. From where you're sitting, you can see the throne. Words that your brothers say to you. Him wanting you to take up the mantle. There's the core feeling of just, I want to be alone for a second, take a breath, and think about this. But you successfully save on that wisdom saving throw, so I'm not forcing you to stay. You can.
Sorry, I didn't speak that. I would like to stay anyway.
Okay. Did Orion walk out already?
At this point, apparently everyone except for Revelor and Connor have left the room.
Okay. Because I was going to try and catch Orion as he left.
Sure thing.
Okay.
I'm just like fearful about him getting assassinated by a tarantula. So I'm like sticking somewhat near him, but as everyone is leaving the room, like I can leave him alone
I mean, I can tell you for a definitive fact because Hunter's Mark lasts for an hour. Tarantula is nowhere nearby.
There are more enemies.
or some other
Yeah.
like person who's loyal to her, who's willing to kill another redhead. I don't know.
I would
Just
still
Gulchin
like-
comes from the ground, stabs you.
I would like to take the opportunity to see what happens. This is more Grant making this decision than Revelor, I think.
It can be up to you, DM, whether Connor leaves the room or not.
You can stay.
I need everyone to leave the room. I need everyone to leave.
No, Dandy was the first one out. He's looking for the nearest bar.
Already at the bar.
Dude, you're not on the stream. Oh,
No.
you're not hearing what's playing right now.
No, I don't hear.
You look up into the rafters. And you see, oh so innocently, your cat. Just chilling. Watching. You blink your eyes for a second, just wondering how the fuck he got up there. As you open your eyes again, you see a huge mass of shadow. You blink again, and it's still there. You're hearing the rain, the thunder that just showed up out of nowhere. As your eyes begin to focus on this shadowed mass, it unfurls its wings. As a small but still massive dragon appears from the smoke. Your heart's racing, unsure what to do. It's gone. Your cat walks away. The mass of a shadowy dragon. Revelor, you realize that wasn't your heart. Connor, you heard the heart. You heard the rain and the thunder that seemed to start randomly.
As we're inside a building. Okay.
I say like, so is Connor? Connor, are you in the room with me, or are you like just outside the room, but he still heard it or something?
I probably would have just been standing by you, and you stopped and like taking a look around, so we also would have like stopped.
Like,
and did I just see him just stare up into the rafters? And
You saw him stare up into the rafters. You saw his cat up there.
Oh, I saw his cat too.
You saw the cat, but that's it. You saw the cat, you heard the rain and the thunder, and you heard the heartbeat.
Can I divine sense again?
Too late.
Okay.
You gotta be quicker than that. No.
and after experiencing that, I probably would have basically just like fallen over to the ground. Like,
I would catch you.
But you get my point. Like,
Yeah.
I would have like just basically stumbled, catching my breath.
I thought your cat was cool. I don't think it's that cool anymore.
I'm starting to have my doubts as well.
What is your cat? I know it's some demon or devil. I could feel it.
It's not great. I may be in a little bit too deep. I don't know if anyone on stream heard that or not, but Damien's cat just meowed really loudly.
I think I'm in too deep. Meow.
I could hear it through my headset.
Jeez. But yeah, I would look at Connor and just be like, I think we need to go somewhere private and have a talk.
I happen to know of a certain church that no one's going to right now. Or we could go somewhere else in the castle.
Enough. The church might be an inappropriate place to have this conversation.
A not appropriate or more appropriate?
More like
Okay.
like an absolutely inappropriate.
Then let's leave. Let's go. Everyone else is going to a bar. We're going to a church.
The two most different places in the universe.
That was where I wanted to end the session.
I'm fine with that.
Creorn, you wanted to stop your father real quick.
Yeah. I want to ask him if. What did I? Part of it was I'm not sure if I'd ever asked him this, but if through his letter thing, if he can contact Ethel.
I can, yes.
Hey. Just. I need to ask a favor of her. And this is gonna sound really weird. But I want her she has a second companion, and I didn't want to bring this up earlier. We have been in contact with a pentadrone. And Ethel has a monodrone, and so did we for a little bit. The guards killed ours when we were imprisoned. And I want Ethel to ask her monodrone if she can ask, or if it can ask the pentadrone to send us another. It is a viable source of information.
Yeah, I can send her a letter for that.
Okay. And also just see if any of those names mean anything more to her besides, oh yeah, they're Titans, or they're, one of them's a flaming dickhead that, likes to appear from lava caves.
All good questions.
And then I need to find the library because I want to do some research on those names. Whatever names I can find.
I don't know how to tell you this.
The whole place is a library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on the bright side, it sounds like you guys have a couple weeks before anything major is going to happen. You guys get downtime.
I'm gonna go.
No, we don't.
I'm gonna go shopping.
What do you do on your first day? Oh, we're gonna do this. Okay, in the middle of the first day, Katoom rises from the earth.
I see it more along the lines of, I still have one quest that now, because I did everything else, is my top priority. I got a bargain for a damn dagger.
I gotta probably perform like an exorcist or something. Exorcism.
My thing takes priority. The cat can stay.
All right, so you guys have a minimum of 1 week downtime before our next session. I already know what Otar wants to do. It might be longer than 1 week. It might. I'm gonna say 1 to 3 weeks. So depends on what you guys come up with. I know none of you guys are like artificers or wizards that, like, other than roleplay reasons, specifically utilize downtime. But it is still time for a little bit of relaxation. And that is where we're going to end this session. Well, I named this one Thornwood Counsel Part 2 for good reason. We've already pretty much talked about this in the last session. But, hey, that cat's scary. You guys found the name of... I'm just gonna say it. You guys found the name of the true BBEG of this campaign.
I knew it was the BBG before I even knew its name.
Well, you thought his name was Zarka, so...
I didn't care what his name was. I just knew it was an underwater sea monster.
That does help answer some questions, because, like, who's using who? But, okay.
Are
So,
we on the end stream thing? Because you turned off your watch stream, which probably has all our pictures offset. If we're not on end stream.
I didn't turn it off.
It just turned off.
Yeah, your audio stream just ended. Your musical stream.
If you close the tab, it closes the watch stream.
I mean, I didn't, but I'm just gonna go to the watch screen. Or end screen.
That works.
Use technology to cover up our other things.
Yeah. Well, if you enjoyed that content, please give us a like, subscribe, share. comments.
Follow button.
Yeah, that thing. Just do all the things. Love us.
The
Unconditional.
bell for the notifications.
Yeah. Make sure you get notifications when we go live. That way you don't miss any of the juicy details, because who knows when we're going to post this onto YouTube. But until then, we will see you guys around the table. Later.
Thanks, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.